What's up, everybody? I hope you are fine. I hope you are doing well. And I would appreciate if you can just smash that subscribe button, smash that like button like never before. Here we have Gayton Mckenzie. This man is determined to become a minister of police. He calls himself a man who was born for a time such as this, to fight crime. Can he be appointed as the minister of police? According to my opinion, I would like to say this is the good idea, but he has to forget about becoming a minister of police. This is what we are going to talk about.
I know I can add value when it comes to the Home Affairs. I know I can add value when it comes to police. I know I can add value there. Now, this is for my country. So I must not put up my hand. If I know I can stop gangsterism in its tracks, if I know I can help with the mass deportation, if I know that crime is a problem, and I can fight this mafias, so I must say nothing. You guys are crazy. You're crazy. And I will be the best minister there can be. I'm going to work hard. You're going to see me. I'm going to listen to people. I'm going to have our lives. I'm going to talk to you. I've got so many ideas to fight crime in this country. You know, I don't want to lie to you guys. I show you a simple thing. There's a syndicate. I'll tell you two syndicates happening. There's a syndicate in Nigeria. Tell you how they bring the drugs in. In Nigeria, there's a syndicate at the airport of Nigeria. Now, South Africa is the only airport in South Africa where you don't get searched when you land in the country. I want to repeat it. You don't get searched. I'm telling you one crime story. Let me tell you a few, but I want to start with this one. So they get the drugs in Nigeria. They bring it from, what is this place? A place in Africa. I forgot the name now. Get the name now. Into Nigeria. And then what they do, at the Nigerian airport, they will have 100 people flying into South Africa with drugs. Now, the people check in Nigeria, and before they jump on the plane, they go in the toilet and they strap themselves with drugs. And then they land in South Africa. There's two little dogs in South Africa, two, that smell the people. Now, they spray something on the drugs so the dogs can't smell the drugs. Two little dogs. So let's say 500 people pass. That dog will smell 10 of the 500. Then they sell the drugs in South Africa.
This is a crime issue. It's not about being against Nigerians, being against other Africans. Because as Africans, we are one thing. I know Gayton Mckenzie. I know his views. I know his opinions. But right now, he's addressing the crime issue. In South Africa, to be exact, we have a problem of crime right now as we speak. So no one wants to live in an environment that is not safe. You don't want to walk around a community that is not safe. You don't want to visit the area that is not safe for you. So in other words, this man here, Gayton Mckenzie, is determined. Sometimes I don't agree with him, or in most cases I can say I don't agree with him. But I can see that this is the man who is determined to fight crime. And if things were possible, I would appreciate if he can be appointed as the minister of police so that he can prove himself, so that he can prove his ability. Please bear in mind, this is the crime issue.
After they sell the drugs in South Africa, They now have all this money, but they don't know how to wash it. This is how they wash the money. They go to the market in Joburg and they buy bananas. They buy bananas at the market. And then they sell it at the same market. And then the market will transfer the money into the companies. So they wash the money at the Joburg Fresh Market. That's one. All the guns that you see in circulation, 92% of people that get shot is getting shot with police guns. Because they have a contact there with the police where they're supposed to destroy the guns, they don't destroy the guns. The drug lords own their own police station commanders.
Because this is what these people do. They give you an offer. If you are the police or if you're the commander, someone who is in charge, they give you something. So you have to understand that the moment you accept bribe, then you are now in their team. You have joined their team already by accepting the bribe, because every bribe that you accept will always come with consequences. So just imagine if the police, for a lack of a better word, are captured, then it means it's a big problem. There's no way you can deal with crime. Because I always say, when it comes to all these things such as drugs and all these other things, you can just deal with them instantly. But why it's not happening? It's not happening because there are those who are receiving a payment. The reason they use this payment is so that when it's time for you to turn against them, so that they may use that evidence against you. So the moment you join them, there's no turning back.
The scrap yards, the scrap metal, they're cutting up our whole railway, and they're in cahoots with the scrap metal people. Our country is in deep trouble. Now, I'm telling you, just understand how mafias operate. I told you guys what happened in ESCOM. And that guy wrote a book of everything I said. And the biggest criminals that you get is in the police. Now, you can't fight crime until you fight the 10% corrupt cops that's owned by the Nigerians. Guys, our country, the guns, 80 people get shot every day, dead, get killed. With police firearms. Now you gotta be able to stop that. Even the people that gives gun licenses, there's a syndicate operating there. There's a syndicate operating with the issuing of firearms. There's a syndicate operating with cars. How they take cars over the border, I stopped that thing in a day.
If you want to deal with crime here in South Africa, you need someone who is determined, someone who is knowledgeable, like Gayton Mckenzie. He's not only knowledgeable, but he's also determined to say, if I get an opportunity, I can do 1, 2, 3. But I think he's using a wrong platform. I understand that he's communicating with all the South Africans, but this is not necessarily the right platform. So the right platform to bring this proposal is the GNU. He has to say, you know what? I need this position because I can deal with the crime.
There are no-go areas for cops in South Africa. I go mad. Imagine the cops are not allowed to go in certain buildings that's owned by Nigerians. Certain shops in Belleville, certain shops in Sunnyside, certain shops in Yeovil, certain buildings in Hilbron.
I grew up in high crime zones. I understand very well what he's talking about. There are areas where police can't go. If something happens there, the police know very well that they can not go there. That is why I always say, if you are a police officer, you cannot have friends who are gangsters. You cannot have friends who are involved in all these evil things. So some people might say, no, it's impossible. If you are living in high crime zones where there are many gangsters and group of gangsters, you have to know that there are those who are untouchable. They cannot be touched by the police. That is why you need someone like Gayton Mckenzie. I'm not saying Gayton Mckenzie is the right candidate, but based on his knowledge, his determination, I think he can fit very well.
Now, the cops that are not corrupt get intimidated to speak. Do you know that body parts is a business in South Africa? Let me tell you what's the biggest crime in South Africa: cyber crime. South Africa doesn't invest in cyber crime, in fighting cyber crime. You have the Serbian mafia here. You have the Russian mafia here. You have the Chinese, the Chinese mafia here. You have the Congolese mafia here. You have the Black X, the Nigerian mafia here. You have the Lesotho, 3 mafias from Lesotho. That's in gold. You have the Ethiopian mafia here. You have the Somalian mafia here. They kill each other. Here on our gronde, onze gronde. So, I want to show you. So even if I don't become the police minister, even if I don't become police minister, if I'm there in cabinet, I can help the police minister. I know how to fight crime. I can see bang felony. We've been having gang leaders that just kill people and give instructions for 5-6 people being killed. They need to be removed from society, those people. I know them. I grew up with some of them. I was in prison with some of them. Now, and I say this with all humility, if there ever was a person that was born for a time to fight crime, it's me now. I understand this thing. This is not something I'm going to read.
So you need someone like this. But here is the thing. Can he be appointed? If I was Gayton Mckenzie, I was going to use this as my standard or as a criteria to say, you know what? Now I'm the member of this GNU. This is the only thing that I want for me to remain as a member of GNU. I know he's like, even if they don't appoint him, he doesn't care. But it would be important to have someone like Gayton Mckenzie as the police minister. But I don't see that happening. Because if you are strategic, yes, you must have knowledge about the crimes that are happening. In other words, you must have knowledge about all these things. How am I going to deal with this? We understand your strategy. But the most important thing is to understand the root of the problem. If you can understand the root of the problem, then you can make things happen. But the problem is one. The root of the problem will shock you. That is why I don't see Gayton Mckenzie becoming the Minister of Police. I would appreciate if you can just smash that subscribe button, smash that like button like never before.